Hi, everyone. This is me and Chris making a little video for you to understand a little bit better how we're going to work with Jira. Jira is a software broadly used by companies to manage software development projects. So this is a really good add-on for your project, for your portfolio. And we're going to use it on class final project class 21, like we used for class 20. So you are not the guinea pigs. We've learned how to use this, and hopefully we'll make it work much better this time.
Still guinea pigs, though.
Yeah, still the lit guinea pigs, but it's cool. We'll learn together, and that's so cool. So here it's like a dashboard. We could see one of the projects from Hacky Future, and now we're going to create one exclusively for class 21. So let's see how it works. So we have several options of templates, but we're going to do Scrum, and that's also like the methodology that we are going to use as much as we can. We can't promise 100% because it has a lot of rules and it demands daily availability. So I don't need to explain this. I'm just going to go forward. And then, of course, final project class 21. Hooray. Just going to do. And then I'm going to put limited access because it's just for you. And Scrum templates. And here we go. By the way, this software is paid. Well, let's start the other way. It's free up to 10 users. In this case, Hacky Future will sponsor that. But if you're curious about it, you can just create an account and create your own projects. But for now, please, let's go with this one and let's learn with this one. So we have several views, a roadmap, backlog, where we can see divided by sprints, and then finally a Kanban board where we can see the to-do, the in progress, and done. We will change a little bit this, but for now, me and Chris just want to create an epic story, a story, and a task, or in this case, 2 tasks, so we can exemplify a little bit better the flow here and the differences between epic story, a story, and a task. Okay. So let's start. So when we create, we'll have the option of creating different issue types, and we'll start with Epic.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to say something, Chris?
Should we pick the title for the Epic?
Yeah. Well, we already.
Or should we put the date first? That comes after.
Yeah.
I can read it out to you if you want.
No, I'm going to copy paste. We've already prepared it. So,
Yeah.
Okay, we actually have this agenda. So let's just cover the agenda. We already created the project. We're going to create the epic and then a story for the landing page and then a task. We're going to create an endpoint. And we are going to also create a hero image on Storybook. Okay.
Nice.
Cool. Okay, let's start with the epic.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to copy paste and then we'll read it out loud too. So basically, the first epic that will run on the first sprint will entail developing the landing page that will allow us to go into the project detail page, the About Us page, and Contact Us, and finally also allows us to see the 404 once it's relevant. And here we'll create a template for this afterwards, but for now we have the description prepared.
So that means that we create the template, means that when in the future you select to write a new epic, there will be some text already appearing where you just need to add whatever is like specific to that epic. So it will always say a description and the journey that you're supposed to go through, and then you just need to complete what's different in that epic.
Yeah, just a little detail. Students will not create epics. That's you, Chris. They will create the stories, because the epics is where we control how far they go. But they will have a template for the stories and for the issues. It's not that difficult. You will see once you create one. Don't worry about it. The important thing is that you understand that an epic is like the name describes. It's a big thing, and then you have a story, which is well, an epic has several stories, and then a story might have several tasks. Most of the times has several tasks. And
would you say it's correct to say that the epic for the first 2 weeks is the main target that we set for ourselves? So it describes everything we want to do, and then contained in what we want to do there are lots of different stories, which then again contain tasks, so it just gets smaller and smaller. And then I guess under the stories there are the bugs.
Yeah, exactly.
That will happen.
I would even call it a milestone, because it's a set of sub goals that we need to achieve, and then we have the sprint, which is the time that we assign for that.
Yeah. So epic and milestone could be used interchangeably.
Yeah, I'm not like professional on the usage of Scrum, but if I would have to make an analogy, I would use that.
Maybe for the students we call it an epic. To the client we call it a milestone.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yes, and then we have a set of labels, but we won't use it here because this is an epic, so it will cover all of them. So maybe we can actually use full stack. Maybe is there a full stack one here? Yeah, let's use it full stack. And then we're going to start this Sunday, so it will be the 19th, and we hope to finish it on the 3rd. So that means create full stack for landing page, product, about us, contacts, and 404. So we are talking about React components. We're talking about endpoints using Node and Knex. And we're talking about the databases with MySQL. Everything will go on this. And plus, you will have to use Storybook as well. We'll see about that a little bit later. Okay. You also have the opportunity of attaching files, images, and so. Not so relevant for the epic here, but the story will basically have the same kind of setup, plus the template that we mentioned before. Okay, once it's created, you can actually go here to the roadmap, and you see that we already have the epic here mirrored in this roadmap. I'm looking for another view. Okay, it's not here. Okay. Just to relax you a little bit, you have plenty of time to do these tasks. And then let's do, we have the epic, right? The big one. Let's do a story for the landing page, because that's one of the goals that we have. So once the easiest thing is to come here and create it from here. If you don't create it from here, you will have to associate it to the epic. So whenever you create a story or a task or a bug, but let's keep it simple with stories and tasks. Please come to this view. It's much easier because you are just creating a child issue. And then what's the child issue? It's a story, and we have a story prepared here for you. Okay, story for the landing page. I'm just gonna write landing page. Cool. Let's go in. I'm just going to open it here in another tab.
We get a full nice view.
Yeah. I guess there is a shortcut to open this, but I haven't found it. Okay, so this is the part where you will see the template that we will create. It's not created yet because we are creating the project from scratch. But after this video, whenever you create, you come here and you add a new one, you'll be able to see the template. Okay, it asks you for a description here. We already have it ready. So we would like you to start by describing a user story so you get used to the way of describing your stories with this narrative. So the idea is that as a user, this is the who of the story, right? I want to see the landing page of the web shop. This is not a web shop. What is this, Chris? How do we describe this project?
Toolbox.
Toolbox. Where it shows all the products. Do we call it products here on this project?
I call it tools, probably.
Okay, so let's call it tools. So I can browse
tools,
the different tools, use the navigation menus, move back and forth in the result pages. Okay, it's a broad description. It's basically saying that you as a user can go and scroll down and up and click on the several options. Maybe there's a drop down, maybe there's an over on a certain button that gives you an information. Maybe there's a model view when you click on something that needs to work. So it's quite broad, and that's why it's a story. The acceptance criteria, a little bit more. We have some tools to help us here describe better the story that we want to achieve. The end goal is to develop the landing page like it's shown on the wireframes. We do not need authentication or search to develop this story. So it also gives you some boundaries of exactly what you need to do. Just a disclaimer, the wireframes are not ready yet. By the time that we're doing this video, and that's not a problem because we can explain this Jira. But in the future, when you create a story or a task, it's good to refer to the wireframes. You can create the story or the task because you have a need of having that specific feature, that specific, let's say, endpoint or React component done because you need it for your page, but it might be your classmate developing it. So you need to, as a writer, you need to develop or to write as much as you can and describe as much as you can. And you can also add images. So referring to external links, it could be the wireframes, it could be a database diagram, it could be, let's say, a code pen example where you show the functionality of something. Yeah, could be a library. Please try to implement this. You can give some hints of how you would like to have that feature developed. Yeah, and that's basically what we have here. Focus on the UI by building all the storybook components associated to this user story. Endpoints for product visualization. So I'm just going to change here and put tool box visualization. The database with migration and seeds for the specific story. And then I'm going to add here, just to be sure, using Connects.js. The endpoints and documenting them on Swagger. Yeah. We'll talk more in class about Swagger and Storybook. Yes, and then there's a disclaimer here, missing the link to wireframes and also other graphical support images that could help illustrate the story. So every time that you have extra support, please add it here. You can just drag and drop.
I mean, I sent you like a draft image for a wireframe, just in case you want to like add it, just to show how that works. But I don't know if that's necessary.
Yeah, let me just.
I sent it to you on Slack, just a screenshot.
Yeah. Okay, give me just a second. I'll stop the recording real quick to get the image. Just a second. Okay, that was quick. So we're back to add the image. I have it on my desktop. So let's see how we add the image. I think we can just drag and drop. Let's try. Yeah, it's quite simple.
Just get dropped in the middle of the text? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Easy, all right.
Yeah, and then you could add the links here. This is basically what you see, it's what you get. Yeah. Okay, but that's like in the middle of the text now. Yeah, I just copy paste. It also works quite good.
Yeah.
Yes, and this is a story. So again, it's the middle. You have the epic, the big one that covers a lot of different things. Then we chose the landing page for a story, and then we're going to add child issues. Okay, so let's actually click here and add a child issue. So what needs to be done in order to do this landing page? And we have two examples. So one of them is create an endpoint. Okay,
could you also create a task from the overview and then associate it with the story, or do you always do it directly as a child issue inside of the story?
You can do both ways. That's a very good question.
Cool.
I'm just gonna try to create it here.
And we've seen both ways of doing it.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Fetches. Create an endpoint that fetches all the products and relevant data from each product. This is quite a big description, but let me just try here. Yeah, okay, let's try this. Okay, it automatically creates a task. And that's good because under the stories, the next level is a task. So you have a big story that is a landing page, but in order to have the landing page, you need to do several small tasks, small steps. Okay, and now we open the task. We have the title. Maybe this title is actually too long. We can reiterate a little bit on that. But basically what we need is to add a more descriptive text here. So create an endpoint using Node.js that you've learned. Next.js, you've covered a little bit. If you're going to work a little bit deeper on it, that fetches all the products and the relevant data for each product. Okay, it's not products, let's call it tool. Sorry to be correcting things on the spot. All the tool boxes.
To show the toolbox on the tool.
Create an endpoint using Jira that fetches all the toolboxes and the relevant data from each one in order to show them on the toolbox card component that is present on the landing page.
I mean, in a way, you could still refer to it as a product, couldn't you? Or like as a content item, but
you could.
We'll see what the terminology ends up being once we're working with it.
Yeah, don't get stuck so much with the business case part. The important thing is that you understand that we're working with Jira, that we have the epics, has the top one, and then we have a hierarchy with stories, and each story might have subtasks, right? Regarding the endpoints, we have 2 examples on the project, on the GitHub, that you can use. So you don't start from scratch. And then I can add, for more information, please check Next, JS, and Swagger.io. Both websites have a lot of information, so it shouldn't be difficult to do it, but of course we have to use each other and the class channel. Yeah, okay. Should I just change here a little bit?
But aren't we almost done?
Yeah, we are.
Shouldn't we wrap it up? Or is there any like major step missing?
No, this is, I just want to show how to, I know that we are a bit in a hurry. I'm sorry for that. I'm just going to label it as a backend here. We could estimate storybook points, but we'll not do it. So this is basically created. I'm going to save. Please be careful with that. And now to show the roadmap, when you click here, you'll have.
So where can I now see the child issue? Because I don't see it in the overview.
No, you don't see it on the overview, and that's something that I need to add here. I don't know why it didn't create it.
It's only on the card of the story.
Yeah. It's only on the card. Either way, I will try to add it here.
So it should be showing up in this overview. Yeah,
ideally, because we want to have a nice overview of it.
Yeah, great.
You can also use this button to create an epic, a story, and a task. You will not create epics. That's Christopher. And then you can associate it to the father stories and epics. But preferably use the hierarchy here, so you associate it to the epic right away. Yeah, and then you will have a backlog. Ideally, when you start, you have to place your story on to do, and then from that to progress and done. We will change this board, and it will be quite self-explanatory with the flow that you've been used to, having the homework and then creating the pull request, having it reviewed, and finally having it merged. So please check this board again once you see the video, because you will notice some differences. We'll change that. Yes, and I think we've covered it all. I will create another task, but we don't need to be on the video for that. You can just see it later. Yeah. Is there anything that you want to add, Chris?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, you're good. Okay.
For starters, this is good, and then of course we'll be spending a lot more time in there. But I think this is what everyone needs to know to get going.
Yeah. Okay. But then. Ask questions and see you later.